Hello, everyone. This is Yonks with REtoken, the real estate DAO, and this has been quite a journey here so far. This is now our sixth white paper working group, and we are committed to bring you a story on how to write a crypto white paper. And right now, not in any particular order as far as who's hanging out on the Zoom with me tonight from the REtoken team, we have Amy, Dax, Crush, and Scheeman Freeman, Mr. Brian, and of course, my favorite person of all time, my lovely wife, Mrs. Yonks. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. And one of the things that the team has done is that we are committed to finalizing here. And the challenge is that we reduced, not only did we reduce the window of this working group, but we also rescheduled it because Mrs. Yonks and I had a time conflict. So instead of doing our normal 2-hour working group, shorten this down to an hour and a half and then also reschedule it. So the goal was to have a finished light paper so that we could come to the community call. I think we're up to community call number 16 that happens on Wednesday at 7 p.m. We come live to you on a weekly basis, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And whatever channel that you're coming on, make sure that you subscribe to us. So we are going to get right into it now. That's enough of an introduction because we've got a lot of work to do. So for those that may or may not know, we get all the things done here at REtoken in Trello. And this is the Trello card that we use for tonight's agenda specifically. And actually most of the stuff is in our Google Docs. But then the most important thing is that we're working over here. We agreed very early on that we're going to use our Gitbook page on docs.retoken.info to do our light paper. And our light paper, we biddle passive income. So this is what we've got right here. And one of the things that I made some changes. I think most people were liking this kind of navigation. And that's one of the things that I did across the pages. So one of the other decisions that we made in our previous working group is to divide this light paper into 5 sections. We biddle passive income with real estate for everyone. Now, one thing that I thought of, and this is kind of a little bit of a slight deviation, if you will, but when I was doing a search here, and this was a thought between our previous working group and this one, and this is just my ongoing, like, how can we tweak things, make it a little bit better? Because I was doing some searches, and I'm going to actually open an incognito window here. I'm going to go to YouTube real quick because I was doing some searches on YouTube, and that YouTube is our primary content channel currently. We're streaming this on multiple channels besides YouTube, but if those that may or may not know, Google's the first top searched place on the internet, and the second is YouTube. So Google absolutely dominates the search. And where I was going with this is I started doing a search for real estate and see what comes up here on this second, real estate investing. So the question is here, should we add that to this tagline right here? We biddle passive income with real estate investing for everyone. And I think we should, because right there that it just showed Google, YouTube, like for those that don't know, when you start typing in stuff like real E, like this is what people most often search for in that order. So I'm gonna stop talking, and I would love to hear some feedback before we get into the meat of going through each page by page.
So I guess the question I have with that is, I thought there were certain words we were supposed to try to avoid in the tagline and throughout the light paper. Is investing kind of one of those words, or?
I'm not sure when you're talking about words to avoid. So this isn't actually a security offering. We're talking about because what we will be offering when we do our security tokens, we will be doing a security token offering that people will be making an investment decision. So when we deliver on the process for real estate tokenization, when people acquire a security token, it will be done under some securities regulation, whether that's Reg A plus or regulation crowdfunding. We have the opportunity, and this is one of the other events that I would encourage everybody that's interested here in the REtoken community, or not just the REtoken community, but just having a better understanding as far as some regulations. We're looking at participating in an AMA with Silicon Prairie. That is one of the potential solutions partners that we have identified that may be a fit to explore as far as doing our security token offerings for, at least for this initial process. So that's an opportunity that's coming up Friday at 10:30 Eastern time. But going back to the question at hand, I don't necessarily think that we should stay away from any, because I think that the same person or persons that were saying that were also saying that we shouldn't use passive income. And that's one of the things that I've regularly put forward. Well, I was looking at residual income to start out with, and I was like, well, what's a better word that we could potentially use? And part of the reason that pivoted from the residual income to the passive income is because of the Google Trends. And I think that that's the same reason that we should also enhance, because really my expectation is that this tagline will probably be truncated. I mean, like, you've already started to see me using we biddle as far as really fostering a biddle culture here. And then probably like here, instead of having the whole thing, we've just got we biddle passive income. So my thoughts is that we should include that and be intentional about including those, because that's what people are searching for. And at the end of the day, that's one of the things that absolutely sets our project separate from a lot of other projects. We're being very intentional about bringing a security token offering digital asset to market that I think will pass the SEC or FINRA smell test, because we're going to be working with registered broker dealers and the transfer agent, which is also another designation that people have to obtain, people like companies have to obtain in order to engage in the facilitation and fulfillment of security tokens and digital assets. So I don't know if that's as much or way more than you were looking for, but that's kind of my thoughts on that. But does that help provide a little additional perspective, Brian?
Yes, it absolutely does, as far as a long-term mindset, and I guess what the future is as far as REtoken. So I mean, the future you described, it definitely makes sense to allow for certain language like that to be used. So I don't have a problem with it since that's the direction.
So appreciate that, Brian. Does anybody else have any thoughts as far as making a slight pivot and going with the real estate investing instead of just real estate?
Jason, I put up the cut and paste thing for everyone because I could not go in. So I don't know. I'll work on it later.
Okay. Did you have any thoughts here, Amy, or anybody else on this adding investing right here, real estate investing?
I don't think so. If it's a future Lite Paper we're gonna use, because that's where we're heading. And I even included that in my for everyone.
Yeah, so you're saying you don't have any reservation on that? Was I understanding that correctly?
Yes, because we are aiming for the future growth of this community. So no.
Yeah, and to be clear, like, and this is one of the things that we've been very intentional about. Like, one of the things that we've done here with our community, REtoken, is that we've even on our roadmap put our own regulation crowdfunding offering. Now, that's also separate from what the opportunity that we're talking about creating for real estate tokens. So there will be multiple token situations that will come out of REtoken, if that makes sense for everybody. And I was actually going to show here snapshot.org. This is the governance proposal or the governance framework that we are using currently. And I believe that this is RIP number 5, which is REtoken Improvement Proposal. So here it is. Roadmap item for 2022 Q3 regulation crowdfunding for REtoken DAO LLC. So this is, again, fulfilling our ethos as far as like really creating opportunities where we can safely and confidently talk about investing. Now that doesn't mean that we need to talk about returns, because that's where you start getting dicey, but we are going to be providing a vehicle, and that will all have a lot more clarity as the conversation goes through the course of direction. So I did want to welcome Rosetta. She popped in here during the course of the conversation, though. Thank you very much, Rosetta, for joining us here this evening. So going on down the list, let's actually just continue to look at what we've got. And this is the, let me actually switch gears a little bit, because you said that you had some changes that needed to be, let me see if I can refresh this here. Did you actually submit those yet, Brian?
Yeah, so I'm in the same boat as Amy. Last week I was able to submit changes. This week I hit the edit and they're just stuck in draft. So I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong where I can't submit it. But if you look in the
same here. I was only
Okay.
able to do a draft as well.
Yes. So mine's also in the change requests. You'll see second draft of the real estate section. So if you look in the drafts, you'll see it there.
Yeah, so we'll have to take that offline, and I do see here, and yeah, so we can pull that up here. So let's actually, before we go forward with that, here I'm on the we page, and this is something that I actually made some fairly substantial changes from when we had our last working group a week ago. And this is something that I wanted to go through. I felt really good about this. The only one that I had a little bit of a question on is this one right here. But let's actually go through this, because one of the things that I wanted to do on this page is really capture the culture as far as who we are. So, because that's like when you're thinking about the who, what, the 5 W's, right? So anyway, this is the we, in my opinion, because the DAO is a framework that doesn't really answer the we, in my opinion, because the framework can exist with people or without people. And so anyway, going through this, I'm going to just go through each bullet point here. And I did a little trickery with some style. I actually used, instead of using the bullet points, this is actually a black circle Unicode type of a guy. And the reason that I did that, if you look over here on the table of contents, it makes a really nice, like a bullet type of a list. And it's using that black circle with a heading 2. So the who we are, this guy right here is a heading 1. And these guys right here are a heading 2. And this is just kind of like some formatting trickery to kind of make it give the look that it did, if that makes sense for everybody. So let me read these bullet points. So who are we? We biddle. We have fun. We are becoming Web3 monk badasses. We biddle equitable, affordable housing. We are REtoken, the real estate DAO. So I'm going to go on mute and allow you all to chime in as far as how that you feel. And this is all that the content is. So from this, we just go to the next page. But I would love to hear your thoughts on as far as these bullet points that put forward here on the we page. You guys must be blown away. You're all talking at once or something.
The third bullet, I'm not sure. The monk badasses is throwing me off. What does that mean?
So that's actually a great question. So one of the there's a book, and let me actually bring that up as far as the badass part. And I would actually have to defer for Ernest. That's who I borrowed the Web3 monk from. So there's been some conversations on Discord on that. So this is something I don't necessarily expect that we need to come to a conclusion. We can let this kind of sink in, kind of check it out. But let me actually go here to Amazon, and there's a book that if you haven't heard of it, badass, I think it's Jen Sincero. This is a great book. It's so you are a badass. So if you haven't read this, you should absolutely read it. It's something that is in Tyler and I's audio book. And I don't know if you want to speak to this, Tyler, from a different perspective, but the title of this audiobook is You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. And to show like 31,000, 4.7. So I'm going to go on mute.
Yeah, I actually heard a podcast with the author of this book, and one of the things that was really inspiring about it was she got turned down for publication like 20 or 30 times. She got turned down for publication like 20 or 30 times, and some people just said this book, there's a million self-help books, we don't need another one. And a lot of people said, this is a dumb name. You need a more traditional name, like Ways to Love Yourself More and blah, blah, blah. She's like, but that's not the topic of the book. The topic of the book is You're a Badass. And she just was really committed to her vision, and she wouldn't change the vision to get published. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried something and just kept failing and you just wanted to give up or just do whatever it took to get over the finish line. And then when she finally did get published, I think she was a New York Times bestseller for like months. I mean, it was this thing just went viral. And that's one of the things that we're trying to create, is to not compromise the vision, to stick to what we're doing. And a lot of this stuff is big flags for crypto culture, like the monk, ninja, badass, and all this stuff. It's just kind of crypto stuff that we're hanging flags out to the crypto community. I don't know if that helps, Jason, or that's what you're thinking about.
Well, and to be very clear, the badass part is our culture and the flair that we're adding. The Web3 monk is, again, something that borrowed from Ernest, and that there's been some, and I do see some comments there. So Poopster is like, hell yeah, badasses. I'm a badass. We're all Web3 badasses. So I just
want to vote that when we start doing merchandise way in the future, REtoken branded nunchucks, just throwing that out there, could be a thing. I feel like if Tesla can have a flamethrower, then we can have a nunchuck.
Well, there's definitely lots of meme potential just with these three words right here, and the opportunity for that to be, again, a part of our culture and identity. And that's one of the things I think that I have really enjoyed about this entire process, is hanging out with you, because, you know, I have different perspectives, and just like this little one here, adding the investing component to that little tagline, that's just me like starting to try to be more intentional about, you know, adding some additional keywords so that when people are searching for our content, because I do believe that what we're creating here can be one of the greatest real estate investing vehicles for everyone. So the opportunity for us to integrate this real estate investing into our tagline, where, because you've already started to see me use that quite a bit. And the more that we use it, and the more times that it shows up in any type of content. And one of the things that I love about doing the live stream, a lot of people don't realize that whenever we're doing a live stream, this content right now is getting blasted out to 11 different channels. And that creates 11 different sets of unique backlinks with whatever that we've got or that we want going out there. And then the opportunity for, like, whenever somebody does a search for, like, here's a true story. I'm going to go back to that incognito window here real quick. So let's just continue that search here, real estate DAO. And I'm going to do a search here for that. And so look where our playlist shows up. Our community calls playlist shows up on number 3. So that's the opportunity where we be intentional about stuffing keywords or whatever you want to call it. But it's not that we're just stuffing keywords, because that's what we're going to ultimately be creating, is the investing opportunity for everyone to participate in this, because that's one of the solutions, one of the problems that real estate tokenization solves.
Hey, Jason, I know we're on a shorter call tonight. Can we get back on track with the Lite Paper so we can knock it out, get it finished? Yeah.
So again, let's let that one marinate, and then we can make a decision on this. And I'll ping I created a thread. I didn't really have the opportunity, but we can work on making a decision on that. So was there any other thoughts on any other bullet points? I knew that was going to be a conversational point, and I'm glad that you brought that forward. Besides this one, was there anything else that we should or should not have as far as a bullet point on here?
I think you need to say we make money. Oh, no, maybe that's not the word. I'm sorry.
Hey, legally, Amy, I don't know if we can do that, because when we actually, I'm fairly sure we cannot do that. When we start going through securities regulation, there's a fairly lengthy list of things that you absolutely cannot promise people: returns, income, distributions, capital gains, or anything that implies that they're going to make money. So if anything, I want to leave that out. And when we start issuing securities, we're going to have to add in some disclaimers saying you can potentially lose money, returns aren't guaranteed, all the other disclaimers that are legally required, just to make sure that, number one, that people are aware of potential risks, and number two, so we don't get sued. So that's something that anything about income or returns or distributions or whatever has to be, that's a goal. It's not guaranteed. And if we even want to put that in there.
Well, yeah, I just remembered after I said it. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's a great thing. And I actually think that's where a lot of DAOs that are not functioning with proper security structures get themselves in trouble, when they start saying, oh yeah, it's just going to work, and we're not really securities. And then the SEC comes knocking on their door and they says, hi, actually you are a security, and actually you're liable for all this stuff that you didn't do, but you should have done because you should have known better. So that's why we're going to be super careful about that. So just for the record, but yeah, so
I think we can merge the we build, equitable, affordable housing with the first one. Is that possible, or you're doing it for a reason?
I think it's actually being, because I think that we have the opportunity for being known for biddling just more than just equitable, affordable housing. And this is more of a opportunity that just putting out there. I mean, if I had to choose one, I would rather just choose the we biddle. And, you know, so I think the opportunity of having them both, because it just really, I think, causes some additional, and you know, we've got that all throughout, like every page on it, especially like the description. And I think the more that we can just lean into this we biddle, the better. And that, so yeah, it was done very intentionally. All right, well, let's pull in, because and thank you for keeping us on time. And if you could give us a reminder here too, Tyler, when we're at like 10 minutes to the hour, because then that'll give us 40 minutes to finalize. Let me go ahead and pull in this draft change request from Biddle, second draft. And I think I need to, let me go ahead and merge this in. All right, this is what we got here, right, Crush?
Yeah, sorry, I'm walking my dog.
Oh, no worries. So one of the other things too that did, and let me see if this, let me go to the production one here real quick. Okay, so yeah, that did get it pushed out. So one of the things too that I did as far as and this is just to can give a consistent look or feel, because the opportunity for somebody to potentially bounce in on one of these pages. So created this little navigation thing here on each one of the pages, just to, again, have it a consistent look and feel. So since you're walking the dog, let me go through and talk about the verbiage. And it looks more of like a formatting change. So Biddle is an intentional misspelling of the word build in the same fashion as HODL. It is considered a call to action to build and contribute to the blockchain and to crypto projects instead of just holding assets. These users prefer contribution to the community in order to help adoption and to improve the ecosystem. A few ways that REtoken is biddling include their flagship project, Token Town, holding a virtual summit and putting together an NFT-based fractionalized real estate certification program, which will be a 3-tiered progression model. I don't have anything. I'm good with that. Does anybody have any thoughts, things that we need to add? I love the KISS, keep it super simple, that we are embracing here. So I'm going to go on mute and let everybody else chime in as far as their thoughts on what we have pushed out. Thank you for making those. That definitely is a cleaner look and feel there. So thank you for enhancing that, Crush.
I love it. Great job, Crush.
Thanks.
Well, I'm going to take the silence as everybody is in agreement here. So we've already got that change pushed in. So let's go, let's see, passive income. And I don't know if we had any changes on this. Let me go back here real quick, because I did see the other one that Brian has got, and that's for the real estate page, right, Brian? So one of the things that I wanted to speak on about the passive income is, and this is something that I didn't have the opportunity to make an adjustment on. And this is kind of like, I think, an opportunity to really lean into this passive income quest, and where I know that we've talked a little bit about that, haven't really delved into that too much, because that's really something that wanting to have more conversations with through the ambassadors team. So this is something where, and I know that Ernest was getting excited. I think he even shared the passive income quest with the Bankless DAO, and those conversations are very, very preliminary. So this is where I thought that would be a good opportunity to kind of plant some seeds as far as doing a second iteration of this, or potentially even working towards a Lite Paper. And since I'm talking about this passive income quest, I'm going to go over here. That's something that I put some very initial thoughts on our GitHub page. And let me go over here. It's under content and quests. Passive income quest, pick 100. So let me make this a little bit bigger. So that was the thought, was to, again, put something on here where we could talk about this, where we could say, hey, we're looking at doing this to add some more details for a future iteration. And talking real quick, I did include this trend real quick as far as showing the residual income versus passive income on this page. But what is would everybody be supportive of that as far as kind of like putting this out there that we are planning on doing this passive income quest?
No, I think we need to have a structure for that if we're going to put it out there. That's all I know.
Well, we are definitely going to develop one. When I'm talking about putting it out there, I'm just talking about saying, hey, this is something that we're going to be developing. I don't think that we need to necessarily have too much details. So I'm not indicating that we put this in the verbiage that it's got into the Lite Paper. I'm just saying, hey, this is something that we're going to be developing. And like when we're talking about developing, that would be, I think that this passive income quest is definitely something that should go through the roadmap like type of process. And that's one of the things here during the REtoken relaunch month that we're really working on establishing, defining, and starting laying some framework in on that. And let me actually show the starred boards over here. I've got that with the roadmap. Let me make this a little bit smaller so that you can see it. So let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. So right now, looking at our roadmap, we've only got one item on the Q1 for roadmap. And this is actually something that I think that we should say, like, and we don't even have to say that it's even approved. We could say, hey, that we're looking at doing this through our roadmap and exploration process. So it's not like we have to be committed or anything like that. So that's kind of the thoughts as far as just putting some intentions out there, casting a little bit of vision. And that's really the function that the roadmap provides, is that's a tool for more effectively communicating the vision as far as our organization. And this passive income quest, this is definitely something that will have to be more well thought out. So I think that that's, and I'll put some thoughts behind that, and then we can kind of like make a decision. So this is something. Let me add a decisions section on this here. So we've got the scrolling very down to very bottom. Next actions: must decide on the Web3 monk badasses. I'm sure we'll all know what that refers to in the we page. And then I'm going to just put decide. And then decide on inclusion of like a Lite Paper, white paper version 2 for the passive income quest / roadmap 2022 Q1. So I'll put some draft on this. Youngs will draft something surrounding this. All right. And again, there's a Discord thread where we can have that take these conversations offline. And I did see that Teresa joined the Zoom here. So welcome, Teresa. Thank you for hopping the more interactive experience. I saw your YouTube comments on there.
Thank you.
All right, so getting back here on the passive income page. So real estate, this is where we need to pull in Brian's changes over here. So let me pull that in on the draft. Okay. And merge this in here. And I might need to do a refresh real quick. So is this got the new ones in it, Brian? The win-win-win.
Scroll down to the bottom. Yep. You see it there.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so let's go through. And again, one of the things that I did was just add this description, and based upon the conversation here, going to inject the real estate investing, and that'll be another one of the changes. Let me actually add that to the next action here. Update tagline to include real estate investing instead of just real estate. Okay, so with real estate, and same type of deal, I'll update that to with real estate investing. So going here, let me make this full screen so it'll show up a little better. All right, what is real estate? Real estate is property consisting of land and buildings, along with any natural resources such as minerals and crops contained within a specified area of land. Real estate generally consists of immovable property that is affixed to the land. Why own real estate? Owning real estate is a multifaceted method for obtaining passive income. First, real estate that is carefully selected in desirable locations tend to increase in value over time. This is known as equity and can be used as collateral to finance projects or is received in cash at the time of real estate sale. Second, real estate can be rented to tenants in exchange for cash or other value. Finally, real estate allows for significant tax benefits to reduce the tax burden of owners. REtoken DAO seeks to leverage the benefits of each of these areas to generate income for holders. REtoken DAO's real estate approach. REtoken DAO's operating model is focused on delivering a win-win-win framework. We are looking to create tokenized real estate that is community owned. Our shared equity approach provides opportunities for ownership to residents and seeks to provide financial benefits to a broader community. And I'm going to go on mute and allow everybody to chime in some thoughts on what we just pushed out. So thank you, Brian, for making those changes, and really do appreciate your contributions here to our community so far. So thank you, Brian.
It looks good.
We
Where
will
is this
continue.
housed at?
What's that, Teresa?
Where is this information housed at?
It's on docs.retoken.info.
Is that a collaborative document or?
It's the Gitbook repository that is holding our docs page. And yes, it was collaboratively edited, and that's one of the things I just showed, merging Crush's changes that she made and then also Brian's changes. They edited those independently on their own accord, and here you'll have to watch the replay to see how that was facilitated.
Well, I'm just wondering if other members are able to, or were there set people who were able to edit?
Everybody that's been actively participating in the white paper working group through this process that raised their hand when Tyler was asking for owning each one of those pages, those are the people. And then we've been talking through that process. And again, we've got all of that. The entire process has been live stream. So feel free to watch the replay. This is our 6th one now. And this is the one where we're putting a bow tie. So as far as feedback specifically on this page, and let me link you here, Teresa, that's the, that drops you into this page right here. So going back to the real estate page, the changes that Brian put forward. All right, I'm going to keep on the pace here, and I got your copy and paste. Amy, let me actually put that out here real quick.
I think Dax did it already, but you can check.
Okay, great. Let's see. I will refresh my page here. Oh, I think, do I have you as an admin on here, Dax? I can't remember. Let's see. Somebody's got it in here. So let's read through. Go ahead, Dax.
Yeah, Jason, I added the content provided by Amy. So I did it through the GitHub repo. So that's what I've been working on, and that's what I normally do it. So it just goes seamlessly. Yeah.
Oh, did it sync it from GitHub? I thought it was a one-way sync.
I pushed it there, and then it automatically propagates to Gitbook. Yeah. So.
Well, we can talk about that. I hope it doesn't get reverted, but and this is let me actually show what Dax is talking about, because we do have the Gitbook. Go ahead, Dax.
I did not touch anything else but the for everyone section. So I don't think it did. I don't think it made any changes to my push. My changes. At least my comment did not make any changes to other pages. So it's just for that section.
Yeah, but what I was talking about, like there's a configuration in Gitbook where it does the sync integration between Gitbook and GitHub. So we can just keep an eye on that, because that's fine. I was actually surprised to see that it pushed, but that's fabulous. And this is one of the things too. This is one of the reasons that I love the format that we're doing here, is that we're all learning together. So like Dax pushing that through GitHub, and I was just looking here. So like the change that he made, and like we can go over here. This is the GitHub. We've got the REtoken DAO. This is the docs, and looking at our repo here. Gitbook sync integration repo. So that's where we were just looking at. But anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand, because we are on a limited time here. The clock is ticking, and we have less than 40 minutes remaining. So looking at the For Everyone page, and this is again, we biddle passive income with real estate, soon to be with real estate investing for everyone. So defining everyone, housing is a human right. That being said, the global need of affordable housing is alarming. Owning a home and even rent is now out of reach for sectors in our society in all major cities. This brings about unrest in socio-political environment that may destabilize the very fabric of humanity. We at REtoken aims to reverse this phenomenon by making housing affordable and allowing citizens of this world to take equity ownership in any part of the world by taking part in token investment and distribution. Along with this format, each token holder can earn passive income. We want to bring back dignity and sustainability in home ownership. We aim to achieve housing as a human right for everyone. We extend this invitation to you and help us make this a reality for a better world. And I'm going to go on mute and let everybody chime in.
I love it.
What is it that you would like to elicit from everyone, Jason, when you went on mute? Do you want us to comment on what we think, or approve?
We have the team commitment here, and I mean, we've got a couple of takeaways, and this is really the opportunity to kind of flesh anything out. And if we want to make some changes, make those changes. I think like the only change that I would make here, I think it's we at REtoken aim to reverse. And that's, I think, just a grammatical correction that I would make when I was reading through that. And if my grammar policing is incorrect, that just felt weird when I was reading it. So, but I don't have anything as far as that. I think that really captures the for everyone. And one of the things that we collectively have agreed throughout this process, and that was evidenced heavily by people saying, hey, we want to make it a light paper. So keeping it more concise to really capture that is like what we've been saying throughout this working groups process. And I wanted to welcome Michael. So apologies, Michael, if the timing change threw you for a loop, but Tyler and I had a conflict come up, and we had the commitment to the community to deliver a finalized light paper by our community call coming up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So does that answer the question there, Teresa? We're just looking to get some consensus and say, hey, this is something that we've had on our roadmap. We are agreeing that this version 1 is done. We've got a few takeaways. Like one is that Web3 monk badasses really allow that to kind of marinate and see how that settles with everybody. We'll make a decision on that. And one of the things that I'll do on that topic specifically is I will put a poll forward in our thread for everybody to decide on that. And then that'll be as simple as that using the sesh poll. But so going back to the for everyone statement, go ahead, Teresa.
I think a little bit, it elicits in me a desire to want to know how you reach everyone and what everyone is more specifically, as far as how do you become a token holder, even if it's stating the obvious of this is how you would become a token holder, and this is how we make it possible for anyone to become a token holder to be able to earn that passive income. Or, you know, if it's geographically everyone, or culturally everyone, or religiously or sex orientation, or income, or whatever that everyone is inclusive of. I think stating that and how it's possible for that, where maybe other projects may be inhibitory in that area. I think if we add maybe a sentence or two or a statement in that regard, it might help people to get a little bit more clarity on what we're doing.
And one thought that I did have, so thank you for shedding some light, because one thing that I did have as far as the how-to, because I do agree, the opportunity to differentiate us here, because like a lot of other projects, as you know, only allow accredited investors. So I think the opportunity for us to do a subsection here, as far as like, especially here in the US, where we have that the accredited investor caveat, or it's a barrier of entry. To be an accredited investor, you have to be a millionaire or making $200,000 or $300,000 a year, and we don't like that barrier of entry, and that's one of the things that we are doing differently. So let's take that and let's figure out a way to get that verbiage in there, because I do absolutely agree with you, Teresa. This is an opportunity to characterize the how, and then also differentiate us from some other tokenization projects. So let me make note of that in the next actions here real quick. And
hey, Jason,
go ahead.
Oh, can we make the page after everyone, or the last sentence of for everyone, saying interested in learning more next, and then make the next page after that next steps? And then we could, somebody in the community had mentioned that we probably needed a frequently asked questions, and in the Discord, this might actually be a better place for it, or both on the website. And then once we get some kind of a database, we could start doing like we're not live yet, but sign up for more info and then we could just have a launch ready to go. Like, would that work?
And my thoughts are adding more that doesn't actually add to the context of the for everyone here. I mean, the beautiful thing about Gitbook is it's a very easy to navigate, and I do agree. Everybody's been.
Sorry, I meant the next page after that, not for, but just add one sentence. Interested in learning more, like next page. Some kind of a call to action that says.
Well, and that's
we don't have to put it in the paper.
That's the thing is that there, to me, I think that would, because right now we're not set up to facilitate call to actions and things like that. And I think that once we get that, the opportunity to, I'm just afraid that that's adding unnecessary complexity to the keep it simple, super simple philosophy that it seems like everybody's wanting to lean towards. And I absolutely do. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just thinking, I saw a DAO the other day that said we're in pre-launch and sign up to get notified when we go live. And that's basically, I mean, I don't know if there's a little bit more meat to it, but not much. It's basically saying we're not live yet. You can't buy our tokens, because that's the other thing in part of a frequently asked questions is people say, man, that sounds really cool. I want to buy. Where do I invest? Like, well, actually you can't. So then we just lose them. That's all.
Well, and I know that the FAQ has come up here. I mean, I say that we just add a section here right now, because I think that we should have a section like right under our Lite Paper, and then we can say like, coming soon, this is something that we're committing to. And like one of the things too that I did do, and this is something that's definitely on the pipeline. It's in one of the WeBiddle proposals. And this is just our continued commitment to deliver an equitable, affordable housing solution. And this is, again, that's that page, and that rolls right here from the for everyone. And the next page after somebody clicks on that as they go to this. And, you know, the opportunity, Tyler, to potentially put something on here, that would be fabulous. You know, like, but let me, it seems like everybody's wanting to do the FAQ, and I know that that's technically a tangent here, but let me just put this on here, and then I'll add a little bit more to that just to kind of put our, again, our commitment to delivering on the much requested FAQ. So let me edit that. And I'm going to stop talking while I'm adding that FAQ page here.
Well, I guess I'll fill in some space here. We have just a few people on the Zoom: Amy, Brian, Crush, Dax, Double D, Michael, Rosetta, and Tyler. Would any of the members in here like to introduce themselves or provide any commentary over what we just went over? Would love for people to say why they're here and engaged with real estate tokenization and what they're looking forward to in the organization while he works on that.
I'm excited to have something that doesn't require accredited investors. Everything that I've seen out there either is violating securities law or it's accredited only. So the ones that I haven't seen, and not to say there are none out there, but I actually haven't seen one yet that is interested in doing things the way we're doing them. So I'm excited to be a groundbreaker in that area.
Thanks, Tyler. What about someone who hasn't spoken much yet? Brian Freeman, how are you?
He said he had a son that was spoke to his with real estate page, and he had a
he
an
just
engaged child. Yes,
he's
No
taking care of his
problem.
son. I can relate. I know you can relate to Teresa, super mom.
Yes, 5. A mother of 5. Hi, Crush. I'm not sure. I think you said you were out walking a dog.
Yeah.
You here with us? Hi.
Hi.
I'd love to hear your comments or at least introduce yourself so everybody out there knows all the work that you're doing with REtoken and who you are.
So I'm Crush, and this was my first DAO that I was a part of, and I was just really excited when I heard what was going on with Token Town, because I love the thought of using technology to help better people's lives. So yeah, so I'm just really excited about that project, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Did you want to add anything to the work that was put into? You helped with that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did the Biddle section.
Good, great job. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, who else? Double D, we haven't heard from you.
Hey everyone, I'm Double D. I'm a graphic designer. I just joined, I think I joined 3 weeks ago. So that's all.
Where are you located?
Nigeria.
Well, thank you for joining us with REtoken. There's a book on real estate tokenization in Nigeria, and it's the first location-based book published on real estate tokenization. Also, a major platform in the United States called Red Swan just opened up their real estate marketplace platform in Nigeria. So a lot going on over there in your country. And I know that these types of tools will help with the issues that they have over there with funding real estate projects and making real estate develop more equitable for the people of Nigeria. So thank you for participating in this organization.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Did you have anything you wanted to add or any questions about what Jason just reviewed earlier?
No, I don't really know much. I'm just listening to get along, to catch along.
All right, well, thank you for staying engaged. Hi, Rosetta. If you're with us, you can unmic and introduce yourself and give us some commentary. Don't be afraid to talk.
Okay, well, I think you said my name. Did you? I don't know.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm driving right now, but
Nice
okay,
to meet you.
cool. Well, thank you, Teresa. I did agree with you on I forget what it was, but it was what you brought up first about some of the white paper. I think you said something about maybe having an FAQ. I mean, I was kind of I had that idea in my head, but I couldn't put the words to what to call it. But yeah, an FAQ would actually probably answer a lot of people's initial questions.
Yeah, with Tyler.
Yeah, I really like what you guys have done with the white paper. I want to say congrats and thank you. It's been a really hectic last couple of weeks for me. Like been switching jobs, doing all the processes that are involved with that, and yeah, so I've been a little bit out of touch, but and also kind of with the light paper theme, I kind of felt like it would be better for me to sit back and watch and not try to like institute too much technical hoo-ha in it, just because otherwise I don't think it would ever have gotten done. But yeah, you guys did a great job streamlining it, putting it together, and getting a good starting point and general basis for what REtoken is going to be and REtoken is. So cool.
Well, if there's anything that anyone feels should be added or modified, you all know how to access it to view it. If not, you can ask for a link and a link will be provided. But for all intents and purposes for now, if anyone has anything that they want to add, please let me know so I make sure that everyone has had an opportunity to contribute to the conversation. I think the only one we haven't heard from yet is Dax.
Yeah, hi, Teresa and everyone. I'm super excited. And this is, the gentleman previously talked about, actually he put it nicely. Yeah, it's definitely coming together very nicely. I like it. And hey, finally the FAQ is on the paper now. I love it. I've been saying that this is my third meeting. I've been saying that, but anyway, awesome. I like it. As the previous person talked about, if you can put it like a very, we don't have to go into like a super detail, very high level, very simple, like a conversation style, what is what, and then how it's going to work in a very high level, like as we've been talking about, we haven't, fully solidified, how the underpinnings of the tokenomics and all those things, it's coming up, but this will definitely help, folks to understand, what we are talking about, as I mentioned yesterday, I can just simply, point them, hey, here is the link, go and take a look at it. There are, a lot more information over there. You can just, take a look and then have a read at it. And then, yeah. So, I'm super excited. And this is great. And again, thank you everyone for your contributions. And awesome.
Thank you, Dax, for contributing. Amy, is there anything that you want to add as well?
I think I've submitted my entry, and whoever wants to kind of fix it up, because for $1.50, I'm not good in grammar. So if you need to fix it up, feel free.
Amy, don't you speak like 4 or 5 other languages too? So you get a pass on your English is amazing.
Yeah, but I'm not good in English grammar.
I think you're pretty good. So you get an A+.
We got you, Amy.
Absolutely. And it's not the grammar that's important, but the heart of the message. And we all loved it. So thank you, Amy.
Well, guys, we only have about 15 minutes left on this call. So is everybody feeling good, ready for go on this thing? I want to make sure that everybody, if we wrap it up tonight and we call it done until something major changes in the project, is everybody good on that? Or does anything on this, does anybody have a screaming like this has to be changed or whatever before we call it done here in 15 minutes?
I'm gonna have to look at it offline in detail because I can't see the small typing on my phone like this. But I'll look at it before the end of the night and send any comments I have.
Okay, great. Back to you, Jason.
I heard a lot of people mention the frequently asked questions. Was that decided that's not going to be a part of this, but it's just going to be a part of the.
Yeah, so I added the tree up here, Teresa, and this was actually, I think Michael shared those same sentiments, not have it under the Lite Paper section, but like right here, I just added this literally right here tonight with this right here. It's super basic. You've asked, we've listened, FAQ is coming soon. So this is one of the opportunities that I think that we have, not just on this page, but just doing a better job capturing like an onboarding. We've identified and we are working on improving our onboarding experience. So, and this is one of the things I think that people can contribute, because you're all having conversations. Like I think the immediate opportunities that we have is to do a breakout like tokenomics, because we're doing some unique things with tokenomics. It's definitely not some of the creative tokenomics like you see in some of the other crypto projects, but the way that we're using our social tokens for rewarding people that contribute, whether it's on the live stream. Like, we know that having an engaging live stream experience on YouTube loves that. One of the things that I said earlier during this conversation is that our #1 content channel is YouTube. The #2 search engine on the internet is YouTube. So anyway, going back, one of the things that I'm wanting to do with the few minutes left here is make sure that we've identified and captured all of the next actions. Because again, we have the commitment to ourselves and the community at large to finalize this for the community call, which is tomorrow at 7 Eastern time. So whatever you're coming in on, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. But just to summarize here, so next actions, we've got 4 bullet points. Update the tagline to include real estate investing. I've got that action item. The biggest one for everybody here is this: Web3 monk badasses. Already provided the backstory, adding a little additional flair as far as Jen Sincero's badass book. Take a look at that. Web3 monk badasses. Just kind of let that marinate overnight. I'll put a sesh poll out in this channel on Discord. I just pinged the Discord thread, the whitelist over here. Well, I'm going to do that. We can use this thread for finalizing our Lite Paper, and I'll link that up too. I'm going to take a look here at the live stream real quick. So, and this is the chat channel that we've got real quick that integrates. This is a fabulous place. It's right under in our text channels category. I heard Tyler chime in here. Did you have something, Tyler?
Yeah, real quick, everybody, if you don't already know, you get 10 retoken for making a comment during the live stream only. So we wrap it up here in 10 minutes. It's your last chance to get bonus retoken. It's just 10 for any comment. 10 comments doesn't matter. But just to get that YouTube juice going. So if you haven't already made a comment, say hi on YouTube so we can give you some bonus retoken.
Speaking of YouTube, I did want to welcome Andy Fan, who joined from Facebook. I saw the Facebook. So thank you for finding us, Andy. Welcome to REtoken. We can help you get engaged. I don't know if you're on our Discord yet, but since you came in on Facebook, feel free to DM the real estate tokenization page or reach out to myself. And I know that Teresa loves doing the Facebook thing. So we will find you if you haven't found our way over to Discord, but I would imagine you probably did if you've got the Zoom link. So welcome, Andy. And I don't know if you wanted to just do a real quick introduction.
Oh,
thank you.
Also,
Thank
Andy,
you.
send me your wallet so we can get your retoken for this.
Oh, did you catch that from Tyler? We do reward the retoken for some participation here. So that was send Mrs. Yonks your Ethereum wallet address. The retoken is a Polygon ERC20 token. But if you'd like to introduce yourself, welcome, Andy. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi there. I do not have an Ethereum wallet, but I am really interested in learning about tokenized real estate, and I'm glad you guys are starting this kind of community. This thing has been running through my mindset for the last 2 weeks now since I've been introduced to it, and I do want to integrate it into have this available for everyone, and this is kind of like a revolution kind of thing. So I'm glad you guys have this group going, and I'm glad to be part of it. But I do not have any wallets or any blockchain. I mean, I did, but then those are kind of lost.
Hey, Andy, if you can find me I'm Tyler Yonker on Facebook. Just send me a DM on Facebook, and I will grab your info, and we'll help you get set up and stuff after this call. So we definitely want to get you into our black hole crypto universe. It's super fun in here. You'll love it. So yeah, but the very first thing we need is for you to get a wallet. So that's how everything in crypto runs, is off crypto wallet. So send me a DM on Facebook, and I'll help you get going on that.
Yeah, and most people use MetaMask. It's the easiest. And anyway, but that's a personal choice. But that's the one that we use personally, and it works, and it's well integrated. But we've got a very helpful community, and we're all learning here together in a very fun and interactive way, creating content along the way too. So,
speaking of
go ahead,
content,
Teresa.
Yeah, I want to ask everyone listening to ask your questions and post it if you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, and hash REtoken FAQ. Whatever questions you would like to see answered in the frequently asked questions, go ahead and submit your questions in so that we can work on getting those questions answered and adding them. It's and change that coming soon to here they are. So we're going to start with questions that you all really have. So use the hashtag REtoken FAQ so that we can find it and know that that's a question that you want answered publicly on there for everyone to see. So thank you.
Real quick here, getting back to these next actions, since we only have a few minutes here. So the one that we just talked about, and I shared that link in the chat live stream, the Web3 Monk Badasses, again, I'm going to do a poll on that. And then the next one here is decide on inclusion of Lite Paper White Paper version 2 for the passive income quest roadmap. And to throw a link out there, here is the link for passive income quest on GitHub. And I've got that as an action item where I'll put some additional language on that. And then add some verbiage on the For Everyone page to add some details on the how, as well as how we are different than other projects. And i.e. creating a tokenized opportunity for everyone to not have to be an accredited investor. So that's one of the things that great input. And I do agree with that, Therese, and we can work on getting that all finalized here. Where we can sync back on that, and we'll take that offline. But did that capture all of our deliverables? Because again, and let me actually do this real quick here so that I don't forget, because I'm gonna I indicated that I was going to add that poll in the Discord channel. So that's the I'm gonna add that little Yonks will create a sesh poll in related thread. All right. So anyway, was that all of our next actions? And again, we've got the community call. The goal here is to say, hey, this is our version 1 of the Lite Paper. Deliver that to the community during the community call. I think we're up to number 16, the time on that. Same channels here, slightly different time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, but we will be live streaming with our go live at 10 minutes after 7, facilitating that via Zoom. So, and I'm going to show the Google Calendar. I'm going to go on mute while I'm pulling up the Google Calendar so that everybody can see. That's the tool that we use for keeping apprised of all the REtoken events. And we do reward REtoken for participating in the events, including the people that give us some comment love on the social medias.
I think I want to invite Michael to look at the, what you call this, the POAP design. He might want to submit something for that one.
Yeah, honestly, I've been meaning to check that out and some of the tooling. I just kind of haven't really had time to get around to it. I was probably going to be looking into some of that later this week. If not by later, yeah, probably by Friday.
Yeah.
What was that?
Okay. Just one. Good to know.
Yeah, because especially with the POAP, I do believe that like people are trying to like tool out because I believe what we're kind of looking for is something where you're no longer manually having to create a POAP for each meeting. I think it would be wicked and very very practical if we could basically generate them off the attendance of the YouTube, basically generate them off of who's watching, polling the who's watching like list that the services have for each of the places that we're streaming to. So I'm kind of looking into something like that so we can kind of generate all of them off their usernames like programmatically. Is that kind of what you were thinking about too?
Yeah, we're trying to achieve that, but right now we do have a POAP contest to design for the relaunch. If you look at that, there's a prize for it. We award tokens for it.
So just
And
look at that. But we are gearing towards what you just said. We want to achieve that.
And I do have that on the screen share here. And this is just testing out some of the new bounty workflow here. And this is something I just put in the chat live stream. And this is also for Double D as far as flexing some of those graphic design skills here. So this is a very special POAP. We've got this big initiative here, this REtoken relaunch. And we're looking at doing a very special POAP that will be delivered via a snapshot proposal at the end of the month. And for those people that participate in that snapshot proposal, will get a POAP that signifies the REtoken relaunch month. So that's kind of a special fun. We love having fun. Like this particular working group, most of our events here, we have a POAP. I added a very fun one, and this was D-Sign flexing some of his creative muscles here the other day. And I think I've got a screenshot on it. I was looking, the last time I tried to pull up the my POAP, I need to bookmark that. But
yeah,
anyway.
For the life of me, I was wondering what WIP means, and it just came to me today. Oh, work in progress.
Work in progress. Yeah, that was the joke on that, was that he made this POAP that it was in Comic Sans, and he just drew this house. So he's like, hey guys, we're a work in progress. Like, it's a tie between that one and Blur's with a picture of Jason saying we need to circle back. So I don't know, it's spectacular. So if you guys have anything that's cool or funny or interesting or a great design or whatever, we like our look. We're not married to it. If somebody's got something that is spectacularly better than what we already have, let's change it. I mean, but so yeah, we just want to be open to whatever the community wants to offer.
I think Julie submitted her entry too. I think she has two kinds of designs. So just take a look at it.
So one other thing besides the finalization of the Lite Paper, and we are at the closing window here of the time that we have allocated, but the other opportunity that we have on this is to put a nice little bow tie on that. And it's not like a super high priority, but I do want to get that and have like a dedicated conversation where we can all come together. I'm thinking like probably 15 or 20 minutes. So create just to share our experience of the process, where we can really like hopefully create a more easy to watch video, but then also the opportunity that we have to create some type of written content. Because like one of the things that I really cherished about this process was getting to know everybody else a little bit more through this process and really help us to define the ethos and the culture of what we're creating here at REtoken. So just wanted to kind of put that out there. But we are, again, 1 minute now past, but wanted to give everybody one last opportunity to chime in here. We identified what the next actions are. We've got the community call, 7 o'clock tomorrow. We've got the event, and that's one of the things too, that I'm going to utilize these new tools, the Mighty Networks and the Circle SO. Again, that's our WeBiddle an inclusive and platform agnostic community. And where I was going with that is I'm going to test out creating some new events using those platforms. I'll probably do a really quick live stream just so that everybody can kind of see what that process looks like. And really the goal is to automate a lot of this event creation so that it's easier for people that like hosting these events. We want to make it as easy as possible, but then also make it easy for fulfilling that. But anyway, I'm going to go on mute, give everybody one last chance to chime in here before we go our separate ways, and then we work on our next actions between now and the community call tomorrow evening.
I'll chime in real fast. I was going to say I completely agree with you, Adam, with working towards automating some of the event creation and basically streamlining the process for which people can create content for REtoken DAO and for the platform, mainly because it's like the network effect kind of. And there was also an application that I kind of used for MacBook. It's called Homebrew, but basically one of the things that made it end up gaining a lot of popularity was its simplicity to use and the simplicity for contributors to add content at the given time. So I kind of believe that if we kind of go, I believe generally when you go off of that, a similar type of model where you kind of streamline the ability of people to participate and make that as easy and as efficient as possible, you can grow a lot more quickly. And so I truly believe that moving in that direction would be great, and it's going to be nice seeing some of that stuff get built out and basically typed up, and just the man hours being put into it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard, Michael, but this is actually one of the opportunities that we have right here during REtoken Relaunch Month. We've really started to identify some new teams. I mean, we functionally have created, we only had the core team prior to here in December. Now we've got a content team, a dev team, an ambassadors team, and then a new platform team. And then, leaning into the team opportunity together, everyone achieves more. This is a proposal that we put forward, and it would be very easy for us to continue to lean into that with RET. We also do have the opportunity of leaning into RET.eth and potentially even using RET as our token symbol when we do proceed with our RegCF offering, when we do to go down that route in Q3 of 2022, which we have on our roadmap. So thank you for the additional comments there, and glad to have you. Your thoughts and contributions are always welcome. So thanks again, Michael.
Yep, thank you. Fun being a part of it. It's cool. We're inventing new tech and new ideas here.
Absolutely, and doing some different things too, as far as just like the incentivization of desired behavior, like with the live stream participation, and it creates a more fun type of dynamic, and that's again just our fulfillment. Like some people, if they want to get and have a more interactive experience, we invite them to come onto our Zooms, and if they want to just chill out and kind of be a fly on the wall or have some comments on the Facebook or we're even streaming this right now on Twitch. But anyway, to finalize here, we're already, and Tyler and I have to get ready for another call coming up in a few minutes. But thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. And I'm going to do, this is one of the things I'm trying to work towards. I'm going to do a counter 5, give everybody the chance to. And if I don't have anybody, we're going to wind it down after the 5.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Everybody have a good night.
Thank you everyone for participating. We love you.
Take care. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks everybody. Have a good night.